start streaming and be prepared for it to already be
I know.
streaming. And there we are. I'm almost certain because it's counting down. Hello, guys. My voice is still going. The chest infection's gone. This morning was the first morning I didn't have a coughing fit.
Oh, well done.
I did have one in the afternoon, but it didn't wake me up. What did wake me up was the most. So 5:20, I woke up. I'm just gonna go straight into it. 5:20, I woke up, but to one of the most beautiful sights. It was literally the pinkest of skies. It
Oh,
was like
nice.
this, and then it looked like there was some flamingo AF party going off, like neon outside my bedroom. It looked insane. And I was like, I need to get up and take a picture of this before I like fall back to sleep. And I did take a picture. I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but how have you been? How is everyone in the chat? What's everyone saying? Vince, can you see?
I can't see, and I'm worried that they're going to be saying, I can't hear you.
They are actually on that side. I don't know if that's easier.
Hey, we've got a lot of you in there this evening. Everyone's saying hello to each other and hello to us. Meliz, Alexi, Kat, Peter, how are you all?
How are you, gorgeous lot? How has your week been since, well, half of last week and half of this week, I suppose?
I must say about this sunrise.
Yeah.
One of my friends had put a photo up saying that they'd that I think they've gone sober this year and they're kind of like obsessed with catching sunrises now.
Love it.
And it was reflected in the canal, and it
Ooh.
looked like incredible. So
Oh, very cool.
yeah,
I love it's just such an artsy, beautiful way, and it makes you realize how naturally beautiful. Just you don't have to, I don't know, put on a load of makeup to look beautiful. You can literally go out in nature and just be like, that can be the pretty one. I don't care.
I saw something about a sunset and a sunrise where it was like you just take a photo and it's beautiful as it is. You don't say, oh, just tweak that little bit or change that little bit. And we should perhaps take pointers from nature when it comes to photos. And also, when we were looking at the sunset, we said, didn't we, that the camera could never quite capture the same beauty. And I think
Yeah,
it's worth remembering that as well, that you'll try and get these perfect photos of yourself, but the real thing is where the natural beauty is at.
it's weird, isn't it? Because you can find, well, at least I can find myself in the moment getting annoyed that I can't get this picture to show people or to
Yeah.
have it for me later. And then it's almost having to realize that that's the beauty in these moments, to not be trying to capture it and keep it forever, but to live in the moment and then to let it go.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a hard one, isn't it? Because I get a lot of pleasure from capturing these photographs. But then, like, it's trying to get that balance right, like you say, and not missing what's going on because you're so intent on capturing this perfect photo that quite often, do you find that that's the one you don't end up using anyway?
Every time. There'll be like four that I'm like trying to decide against, and they'll all kind of be the same. And I'm
Yeah.
like, why is this so difficult? It's the same sunset. It's the same whatever I'm trying
Yeah.
to like. They're all beautiful. Post whichever one you want. Social media doesn't matter, does it? Just like,
Quite often it's like, I'll think, right, I need to get this piece of footage for this particular content that I'm going to make. And then when I make that content, that piece of footage doesn't even come into it. So I am learning
yeah,
just to try and go with the flow a little bit.
literally what we're saying about not being able to translate. I'll put you guys over here. This was it. Like, it doesn't look pink at all, does it?
Wow.
But
No, it definitely, my friend's one that he shared, and it was all kind of bubbly, and then in the canal was reflecting the same kind of thing. So I can see.
it looks like it was on fire. Like, a part of me, like, I was like, oh, it's pink. And then I got to the window to actually take the picture, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's like a luminous.
Like a bomb had hit or something really like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that word in the early times. It's, yeah, it was beautiful though, and it was so cool. I'm so thankful that I did wake up at 5:20.
Yeah,
That
and
little
see it.
moment to myself.
It definitely. We were saying, weren't we, when we was away this weekend, like is it because we're older that we feel more appreciative of these natural, beautiful moments, such as sunrises and sunsets? Does it come with sobriety? Because I know that you've not drank this year as well. For me, going through like recovery and getting over all these different addictions, I suddenly felt like, "Oh, look at the sunset, look at this, look at that, look at the other." And
Yeah.
I know that Eminem was even quoted saying that he came off drugs and drink and suddenly found this beauty in nature. My friend's going through the same kind of journey. Is it just is it age, or is it?
It's hard. Like maybe Alexi and Meliz can give us a bit of a insight into that answer
Yeah.
for us. Maybe my old ass can't really explain that very well, but I know from a young age I've always liked being in the woods. From the start, it like kind of weirded me out. Like, ooh, I don't know what's past my immediate like attention. Like the idea of getting lost, because when you're a kid, there's like the ideas of treasure, and you don't understand how big the world is. And
Yeah.
it's like past that bush could be the Amazon rainforest. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And you could get lost forever. And then I've always been interested. And then it wasn't until I got into photography that really made me start being like, wow, you can really see these like framed pictures in
Yeah.
nature, something that I drew before I got into photography. So I knew how you draw to compose like a beautiful scene. But then to see that they are naturally there everywhere, whether it's a city, whether it's like actually in nature, just going out and seeing the beauty in places. I feel like
I think
that's mine.
you've just represented the fact that it's that cycle again. So when we're young, we're there, and then we lose ourselves, and then we come back to
Yeah,
who we were again.
return to our. And I'm glad that I did it at a young enough age that I've not struggled down a dark path necessarily and missed this beauty.
Yeah.
Let's have a look what the girls are saying, because I covered you with our. I'm getting used to it. I've been on my jollies. I have no idea where my mouse is. Let's play a game. Where is Steph's mouse? There it is.
I hate that when you lose the arrow. It happens to me all the time.
What are we saying? That sunset looks awesome. Thank you. It was beautiful. I hope anyone that got to see that too, or get up tomorrow at 5:20 and have a browse, see out your side your window, and see what you've got. Mark, if you're watching, I know you've been wanting to send some of your photography, and like I say it, please do email them to us. I know you're fantastic at capturing those natural beauties.
It sounded like a really cool trip that he's been on as well, didn't it?
Yeah, it was. I forget now.
He was photographing some vintage Grand Prix or something.
Oh wow.
It did sound really interesting. I don't know if I've just completely got that wrong.
Correctors, Mark.
Yeah.
That's definitely.
But it sounded really cool wherever it's been. So I'd love to see some photos from that.
I must say, I always there's something about Mark. I picture him like, what is his life like? Like he gives us little details in the comments, and I always really appreciate those insights. Which they often help me as well. But it just makes me build this picture of this person across the pond. Like, what a mysterious, cool guy.
Yeah. Oh, I've got Anna and Lou in the chat now as well. Good evening. And everybody's loving a sunrise and a sunset. Which is your favourite? I'm sure we've spoke about this
Oh,
before.
I think maybe a sunset.
Yeah, there's a bit more magic about the coming evening.
Yeah, I feel like that's my time of day naturally. Like to get up and quickly be like, cool, that's nice, was nice. But
Yeah.
I would never just be like, oh, I'll stay up now.
Yeah,
Now I'm here.
I completely vibe with that, to be fair. I love both, but I feel like, yeah, maybe it's because I associate more happy memories with a sunset because I've seen far more sunsets than sunrises.
I feel like there's something about a sunset that offers that ending ritual to like a good day sometimes, or even a
Yeah.
bad day. And
Yeah.
I love me a ritual.
I love nighttime as well, to be fair. I find nighttime quite enchanting. So I suppose, yeah, sunset then brings about another
Yeah.
exciting time.
You got different lighting. You guys look amazing. I think we just don't have the overhead light on, which I actually completely forgot about, but I was supposed to move this about. Does that look? I feel like that's a little less intense.
I've got Alexia and Melissa singing our praises as well, saying that we're glowing.
Oh, bless you.
Maybe that is
Thank
because
you.
we've spent some time on the beach.
Literally, Nick came round earlier. He was like, "You're the thinnest I've ever seen," and I was like,
Am I?
"I'll take it." You know what? It's just traveling and like eating well and like being preoccupied. That I was saying, like when I'm
Yeah.
bored, I eat.
Yeah.
And it's not even like conscious. Like I'm 3 bags of crisps in before I'm like, oh wait, I might not actually be hungry. This might just be, I need to get up and do something. So I loved it. But yeah, so what did we do? What did we do? Sound like I've forgotten.
We went on a road trip.
Road trip. I feel like if I go from the start of, what day was it? What was the date that we actually left on? It would have been the
Monday the 12th.
Monday the 12th. So if I can go to the start of the 12th. Then
Oh. Alexi, you don't never have to apologize that you've missed a live stream. We miss you when you're not here, but don't ever feel like we hold anybody accountable. Like, where were they? You can always catch up.
Yeah.
But I love that you went stargazing. What a fabulous thing to do.
Sounds romantic.
Yeah.
And yeah, never apologise, my word. We're always late. Sometimes never not here.
Sometimes you can't hear us for the first 10 minutes.
Anna, you're one of us. One of us.
So on Monday the 12th, we drove to a place called Eyemouth. Eyemouth.
Eyemouth.
We're not sure how you say it, to be honest. It's spelled Eyemouth. We thought we were going to Burnmouth.
And then there was eye water. It's a very strange place. But let me see. Oh yeah, you can see. I'm just gonna go through. I actually have no idea what's coming up. Hopefully there's nothing.
Oh, great.
I don't think there's anything. At least that was my.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to tell you the thing along the bottom says we go live every Wednesday still, so it needs altering.
Oh yeah, I literally remembered to change the Instagram one yesterday. I forgot about it.
No, it's good though because it shows that a few people are reading it and paying attention, as it were. Because I've had a few messages just putting it out saying, the stripper on the bottom still says live on a Wednesday.
Oh,
So thanks, guys. We appreciate all of the help that you give us because we definitely need it. Any help?
so I completely forgot that my phone does not make videos that, even though it's a very simple, normal format that most computers should be able to read, they don't get me. So I've got to search for pictures now. You know what? Screw it.
We tried.
We tried. I've got a full video that can actually be made with it anyway, but it's better to just go through it.
Liz and Alexia saying that they saw shooting stars as well because of the meteor shower, and so did we, didn't we?
We did. I realised that it must have been the first one I've ever seen, and I've kidded myself in the past about thinking I've seen them.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was like someone on the other side with like a whiteboard marker just went deep.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't fast, but it wasn't slow.
Yeah.
It was so like precise. Like, do you remember the magic pencil? It was a program when we were kids, and it taught you how to draw. And they often played it in schools.
Yeah, kind
And
of.
it would just be a pencil, and it was such an old program, and it would be like round and down and
Yeah.
up and flick, basically.
None of that made any sense to me. As a lefty, I was just like, I'm going to do it the opposite.
I remember just looking at the program and then looking at the page and being like, round and down and round and flick. That could be anything.
Yeah.
But it was like someone on the other end of like the dome, if you like, for conspiracy theory. Like someone with like I don't know, like an electric pen could just go white.
Yeah, they are all different though. Some will be brighter than others, and some will last longer than others. And
the idea of seeing one that goes, shoom, I think in my head they go like shoom, but that'd be really far and really fast.
yeah,
I get it now. It would be like quite far and short spark.
and it just depends how dark the sky is. I mean, I remember I was in Lanzarote with my family, so I was a lot younger, and it was there was hardly any light pollution, and I saw a shooting star that was like how you'd imagine with the colours of our podcast, like a tail behind it and everything, and it was like what?
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I mean, I was just sat there kind of half bored.
I saw that.
All the adults were getting drunk, and I was at that strange age where you're not an adult yet yourself, but you're too young to be like playing and occupying yourself. So I'm just like sitting on the balcony, just half listening, and yeah, it was amazing. The colours were amazing. Never seen one quite like that since.
Yeah, that sounds like a right treat.
But then some are like orange and some are white.
I want to hunt for a... How long is this meteor shower lasting for? Does anyone know?
I think it was the peak on the Monday and the Tuesday, so potentially you could probably still see them tonight, but I'm not sure.
So I swear I read somewhere that it's until like...
I'm just thinking if it was meteorite.
Meteorite. That took me so... I didn't get it at the time, and you explained it to me on the way back. Like,
Still not there, like.
does anyone else understand meteorite? It's...
Like, if somebody said, "Oh, how was your burger?" And you said, "Oh, it was meteorite."
It's
Oh, look at that! Did you see that? Did everyone else see it? Oh, you're not sharing the screen. Did you see that though?
No, I will do it again for the people.
I don't know whether all my ones, my angel numbers are there.
Oh,
Yeah, share the screen because you just wrote meteor shower. It did it. Look, I knew it wasn't just me.
oh wait, I still wasn't showing the people. Sorry. My God, I'm awful at this.
Good job you realised those yet again. We've been going, "Oh, that was great, wasn't it?" And they're
I
just
know.
like, "We can't see it."
I wonder if Max Fosh has tuned in.
Hey.
That's cool, isn't it?
It's cool.
2 days ago, poised to return.
Yeah, so we
Oh
got meteor
my
shower,
God.
rain shooting stars over Stonehenge a day ago. I bet that's a nice picture, if it is a picture. But Kat said in the chat that she found Tuesday was the best day for it for her. So while Steph's going to get a drink, because this coughing fit that she didn't have this morning has decided to turn up now. Our road trip then. So Monday we went to Eyemouth or Bournemouth. We thought we were going to Bournemouth, but when we got there we realised we was actually in Eyemouth. And that is a really small fishing village on the coast of Scotland. And oh my God, was it a treat or what? So the reason that we did it, because we're going to the Edinburgh Fringe. We'd been invited by Pip, who did the play Character Flaw. So if you've not seen our interview with Pip, then go over to have a look on the channel. Not yet, but after this one's done, check out that video on the channel. We interview Pip. She's absolutely lovely. And she invited us up to watch her show. So we were going to Edinburgh. We were driving. That's a 5.5 hour drive or so from where we are. So we wanted to break the trip up a little bit. So the plan was go kind of get an hour away from Edinburgh first. So we drove for 4.5 hours on Monday, got to Eyemouth, spent the night there, and then just had an hour to go on the Tuesday for the actual play, Character Flaw. So we didn't know what to expect. We'd gone there purely because it was an hour away from Edinburgh. And we got there and it was this beautiful little harbour. I said harbour then. Beautiful little harbour. And we stayed in the ship's quarters, I think it was called. I will check that for you because I totally recommend it. It was such good value. We had a view from our window of the working harbour, which was so quaint. And the lady who ran it, Amanda, she was just the best host, so friendly, and the whole place was so clean, smelt amazing. All those extra little touches like enough tea and coffee, biscuits to go with the tea and coffee, like all of that stuff. And she says, "Oh yeah, no, the beach is just down on the left, just a little walk away." So we go toddling off. I was thinking we'd have to drive to the beach. So the fact that we could walk to the beach was a little bonus. And we come around the corner and there's this stunning alcove, an amazing beach that's sprawled out in front of us. And there was a fresh fish stall kind of thing. So we were just like loitering there. And there they are. Sorry, I was just double checking that none of you were saying that you couldn't hear me talking or something like that. There they are feeding seals, and they had the coolest names. I can't remember what their names were right now. I'll have to see if Steph remembers. I think one was called Charlie. It was like three kind of men's names for these seals. But yeah, they were feeding the seals, and then this guy was telling us that after the seals have had their food, the sea otters come in, and then that the sea otters attracted the dolphins. dolphins stirred up all the mackerel, and then the minke whale would come in. So we didn't actually see all of those animals, but by then we're like, where are we that we've got all this amazing wildlife? The little cove to the left, like absolutely gorgeous beach, the working harbour, seals just eating the fish. It was amazing, wasn't
Felt
it?
spoiled rotten.
Yeah. So we go down onto the beach, desperate to get into the sea. And how was the sea?
A little chilly.
Absolutely freezing. When I got home, I was telling Lou, and I was like, oh, I wish I'd just like dunked in now. But if there was any way possible that I felt I could have dunked in, I would
You would
have.
have done.
Yeah, because I was so keen to do that, and I just physically couldn't bring myself to do it. It was
Well, here's
so
the
cold.
thing. I think you could have done. If you'd have really wanted to in that moment, you would have done.
Yeah, but
It just wouldn't have been.
I couldn't bring myself to.
Because after just dipping to like literally just before it hits any privates, anything that could really make you squeal, we got out and we walked all the way around and went and saw like rest of the like town or whatever little village.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have wanted to do that after. We'd have been like. By the way, I went for this to. Who knows Fisherman's Friends? Herbal tablets. I don't know if you want one.
They're two of my most favourite sweets, extra strong mints and herbal tablets. I love them.
Help yourself. I was my parents have a severe lack of drinks that I enjoy. I was like, I need something. My stepdad's like, I've got cough sweets. I've got these.
Oh, excellent.
Bless old people.
They're my favourites.
You're an old person.
I know. At heart. So one of the other things that we did while we was in Eyemouth was we went up a cliffside, didn't we, and found cannons, an old fort.
Fire in the hole. They were so cool. I've never seen cannons
that close up. Yeah, that we could just climb on, and no one was telling us to get off them. Probably shouldn't have been climbing on them, but still. And the timing as well, getting up there just as the sun was setting, and it was like the most stunning sunset. It was amazing.
You take a picture and you're like, oh wow, that looks good. And by the time you've looked up again, it's improved even more. And you're like, and you're stuck in this loop of taking a picture of it and not being able to move on. Like the other side of you is like the whole sea and like and you're still just like, nope, this one sunset keeps developing into the most beautiful, like, and they got to, like the second night as well. It just beautiful.
It was gorgeous. But then we went on from there. So if anyone is looking for a little recommendation, Eyemouth is the one. The ship's quarters in Eyemouth is the one. It was called that, wasn't it? The ship's quarters.
Quarters, yeah.
Which I quickly Googled just to check, and it's not Bournemouth, it is Eyemouth, so it had just come up saying.
Yeah, it would have just been when you look at it on a website.
There it is, look. Look at the little he's showing. Look at the little harbour. So gorgeous.
Where's the images? If we could find our actual. So that's it, right? We were.
Hello, we have Mark in the house.
Hey, Mark. It's we were like that room, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe that one. I know there's one room to the left of us, and a few to the right, I think.
But yeah, we totally recommend checking out that place in Scotland. Now, before we go on to chat about Edinburgh and the Edinburgh Fringe, what about the actual border that we found with the viewpoint?
Oh my god, we're like slightly above some clouds, but there's also other clouds above us.
Looking out over Northumberland.
Yeah, it's basically that area, isn't it? That west, east, north. Beautiful.
Insane, wasn't it? Like there was this huge rock, and it said England on one side and Scotland on the other, so we could literally like run around, and we were like in England, then Scotland, then England, then Scotland.
Yes.
Oh, I miss it.
That was it was like a little bit down here, weren't it? Walk down here. It's gelato ice cream. I'm sure you've mentioned all the.
No, I didn't. And fish and chips.
Oh, haggis. Who likes haggis?
Me.
we need to get your bus on the road so we can go on some True Vibes tours. I am so down. It made me laugh. I've got a video and I was hoping we could show you. It will be uploaded where we're rocking into this beautiful like fishing harbour with just prance or like just a heavy dance music going in the background. It's hilarious. It's like, how dare you? But like, bring the vibes. It's brilliant.
We do bring the vibe. I've been at the bus painting all day today. My body is in bits. 'Cause before we went away on the trip, I was just hardcore painting every day, and then we've come back from the trip and I'm straight back into it.
She doesn't stop, ladies and gentlemen.
So hopefully upstairs will be done very soon, which is going to allow me to crack on with downstairs. And it'll be on the road before we know it. Road trips galore.
We're praying. Be so. It's
So-
exciting.
The Edinburgh Fringe, then, what did you think?
I didn't want a whole one, but I thought I could bite through one.
Was it all you envisioned and more?
So before going, I was like, can't wait to get to Edinburgh. Like, it would be nice to stay at some little like harbour, but my main goal was Edinburgh Fringe.
Yeah.
Then we got to Eyemouth, and I was like, I almost don't actually want to leave. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It was like a little slice of heaven.
It was gorgeous, wasn't it? And then when we got to Edinburgh, we wanted to go back.
Yeah, I just I'm not that great in cities, and as far as we know, Edinburgh Fringe, while that festival's going on, doubles in population.
It was.
It can get a little bit overwhelming, but I will say it was made a hell of a lot better by the lovely Pip. Like literally, I felt like I was VIP.
Yeah.
Like it was just okay to be like, I don't know, running into her at the start of the day. It had already started raining. I was like, I did not account for this rain.
Hey, Jade. Jade's joined us in the chat as well.
Hey, Jade. Oh, very
So glad
sweet.
to have you.
I'm trying to navigate this one. Cough.
Sorry.
You might have to take it.
Welcome to our chat about Edinburgh.
I'm
But,
in my coughing fit.
But yeah, it was super, super busy, and it wasn't. I don't know. I thought Edinburgh Fringe would be existing behind closed doors, as it were. Like we'd know that there were shows on everywhere, but it wouldn't be like festival vibes on the streets. I was totally wrong about that. Like,
Yeah, it's literally every road, every street, posters like, come to this, come to this.
it was a bit overwhelming, wasn't it?
It was cool though. It was
very cool. Like I enjoyed it, but I think going from Eyemouth, where it was like paradise, it was almost like, oh, I want to go back to the quiet little village and the, you know,
that is just where I do better.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember you saying, Jade, that I was born not far from Edinburgh, so I grew up going to the Fringe every summer. Oh, wicked. Well, this was an absolute first for us. And one of the coolest things about it was there was these little squares. So where we were watching Character Floor was at Bristow Square, but then there was George's Square, and then there was the Circus Square. So there was like themed areas, and each of these themed areas had, loads of food and drink vans around the side and tables where people were chilling. And in one of the areas there was like those magic mirrors, which actually the magic mirrors, me and Steph went in there. We were like in front of these mirrors, prattling about, videoing ourselves, laughing our heads off, and like batting all these kids out of the way. Like, come on, get out of the way, you're ruining my content. And then it was that realization that no other adult was having any fun. Like there was one other adult, but that's because they were there with their kid. There was no other adults doing it. Like every other adult was just sat at the table just drinking, and we were there in front of the mirrors for ages, weren't we? Like.
I couldn't get enough of it. We'd already got excited about a potential house of mirrors.
Oh yeah.
Got to the top, but she was like, "I'm sorry, many people have thought this is that's what this is. It's actually just
a venue."
Called we're showing.
Yeah, called the Hall of Mirrors, and it was like, why have you called the venue that? But
it's very misleading and very disappointing. Like you're gonna get very disappointed people here. I just don't think that's a good way to set up. I'd be so annoyed if my show was in there. But like, oh, people think they're coming for like a fun house.
Yeah, and it's not. But it made me realise that don't grow up. It is a trap. Like just keep having fun. Like keep that.
It's a trap.
Yeah, like keep that magic of finding a mirror hilarious. Yeah. Rather than just sitting there like, oh, let me just drink my pint. How exciting!
One of the mirrors literally made me like so skinny and so slim, but my forehead was like massive at the same time, and it was like, that's an interesting conundrum. Would I swap my body for an even bigger forehead. No, it wouldn't. Quite nice to realise, like, oh, I don't mind my body, actually.
And then there was a tree with all lighting up it, like neon lighting, that I was mesmerised by. Anything that's bright colours, and that's me stuck.
There was a load of things that visually were awesome, like the big, huge blow-up cow.
Oh, yeah.
There was a huge Aperol Spritz tent that just looked cool to me. It was
Mm.
bright orange. It's quite easy to brand it, but I also noticed that there was quite a lot of effort to have alcohol-free drinks, which I didn't see. Where did we go recently? It just didn't seem to have that much offer.
Oh, we went down to London, didn't we?
Yeah,
Barefoot.
I thought there was a lot of. Oh, it might have been Barefoot. Yeah.
Yeah, because Barefoot, I was really excited that they had Corona, alcohol-free Corona, but Friday night they were like, oh no, sorry, we're getting it on Saturday. And then Saturday night they were like, oh, sorry, we're sold out. I was like, oh, okay.
Did we order 5 bottles?
I know. I was really looking forward to like that taste of a beer as well at a festival.
I know what you mean. Well, that's in your tips. If you definitely know you're going to want a drink there or just think you might, bring it yourself.
Shout out, Jade. Life is for having fun and finding joy in the simplest things.
I so agree.
That is absolutely it, because I saw this thing and it said, like, there's always going to be problems. It's about enjoying life
Definitely.
while still finding the solution to the problems,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like, you can't think, oh, I'm going to wait when this is sorted out, then I'll be all right. Because
when
there'll
I've
always be
got some
something.
money, when my life's sorted, when
Mm.
I've got this job, when I've got this position.
Yeah, not how it works.
It's a waste of your own life. It's such a good tip, Jade.
Yeah, indeed. But
Mama Jade.
if you're
Trust me, I know, bless you, you're a sweetheart.
I did see that post, Jade, about deja vu.
What?
It made me giggle.
Oh yeah. Wait, was that the long?
No, it wasn't the long one that I read out to you. That was, you've got a way with words, mate. You should definitely become a comedy writer.
Oh my god, if
Maybe
you're not,
you should be at the Fringe, yeah.
yeah. Oh my god, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
If you pop that eye out on stage, you will literally win over the entire freaking crowd. Just literally first up, like.
That would be great.
But you're, aside from that, just a beautiful soul and hilarious. I remember laughing so much
Oh,
at Community
God,
just
yeah.
because of what came out of your mouth.
Yeah. I had so much fun. We'll definitely do a reunion soon, because when we were in Edinburgh, we were thinking about Debbie and Steph, which are both located in Scotland, but
Yeah.
we were on such a tight schedule that there was just no way of like planning
Yeah.
everything in, like. But
And we were there with Sarita and James, who we met at
at
Community.
Community, yeah, Sarita and James were in Edinburgh, and they entered the competition to win tickets, so they came to Character Floor with us.
They were the only ones to enter, so it was
Yeah.
quite an easy
Quite
win,
an
if you
easy
see.
win. Yeah.
But yeah, so we get to Edinburgh. We see Pip early in the morning.
I love that we bumped
ran
into her.
and she was just a bright energy. She made us so like, 'cause we were a little bit like, oh, does she know we're coming?
Yeah, yeah.
Turns out she had forgotten that it was that day, but it was totally fine. And she was like, oh, I'm glad you're coming because it seems like a bit more of a relaxed day.
Yeah.
And she gave us some leaflets, like, if you manage to pass them out, go for it. And then we saw her later in the day and she's like, I think we're doing okay.
Alright.
Are you excited? And she was super supportive of so many other acts that she was like, yeah, who else are you going to see? You have to go and see this person. You have to go and see this person. And she was a great, good marketing, good advertising for her fellow performers.
Yeah.
And I love that vibe about someone. There was no gatekeeping, like, oh,
Yeah.
so you only remember me and like my show.
Which we tend to come across a lot, don't we, in this industry?
We got some narcissistic neurodivergents out there, and we love you and we hold you close, but my word.
Send healing.
Yeah. Try praying.
Yeah. Try praying. That was so funny.
And there's literally a sign in Edinburgh that just says try praying, and it seems a little bit passive aggressive for a church to be, but I kind of respect it at the same time.
Well, we've used the saying so many times since that it's done its
a
job,
great,
hasn't
yeah.
it? But if you were going to go to Edinburgh Fringe, I would say definitely check out what acts are going to be on before you go, and kind of have a loose plan.
Yeah.
But also be prepared to go with the flow, because so many people
Yeah.
told us about plays or shows or whatever that sounded
Yeah.
so good, didn't they? And I think if we were there for a week, we'd have been like, oh, okay, sod it, let's go and see this.
Yeah.
you
And
know.
I also have that thing that naturally wants to kind of shake off people with leaflets. And I know that's bad because often
Yeah.
I'm the person with the leaflet. So just leaning into that and realizing you can actually have some decent conversations with
Yeah.
these people that are, and they're really passionate about these shows that either they're producing or they've written or they're acting in. And it was great to see. You're like, oh, yeah, I've just learnt about 7 different plays that I would definitely go and see, especially if I had more time here.
Yeah, yeah.
And I didn't know any about these until I started walking around looking for a coffee.
It's that I think that's the thing that shocked me is that the amount of shows, like the amount of posters. I barely saw a poster repeat itself. It was like that's how many, just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. But then B, that kind of scared me where I thought, how does anybody get like any publicity or get
Yeah,
any kind of attention? Like
definitely.
if we were to do a show, as in take a different podcast on tour or whatever we were going to do, I don't think I could stand there in those crowds and sell, be going over to people and
Yeah,
trying to start those conversations. It just gave me a complete newfound respect for
definitely.
all their hard work.
For the months and leading up to it, you're promoting it online as much as you can. Then when you're there, it's like, well, what am I going to do? Just wait for my performance? You got to
Yeah,
get out there, sell your show. If you're not, you know, Russell Howard that can just put up a one and people instantly go to it. It's very competitive, but
really
also it feels
competitive.
like very community. There is people recommending other people's
Yeah,
shows,
yeah.
and
Quite supportive of each other. Like
yeah,
everyone's in it together rather than we're against each other.
definitely. And it made it even more, as we're seeing all these posters and we're like, wow, the play we're going to see is already Fringe award winning, like for the Brighton.
Yeah.
Um, and it was like to know that this has already got awards. One, how do you get awards? There's so many of you. How do you stand out
Yeah.
from the crowd? So that's already incredible. And then we watched it, and my God, I got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, you got awards for this. Like it taught me a new one in the most theatrical and beautiful way. Pip displays her own story in such a relatable way, and she's so clever with like there's timings for like sounds, for voiceover cues, for light effects and stuff, and she's hitting everything perfectly. It's such a like it's not just like I've wrote a play and I'm going to perform it. It's I've written such a technical my brain. Do you have that kind of ADHD? Because I don't have that kind of ADHD. It terrifies me that
No, I mean, I thought it was great, and I think the way she managed to tell us her own experiences and her own little stories and wrap it in with ADHD awareness was really like perfect.
there's so many themes and just like you must have been thinking about this for so long because nothing was just there because it was part of the show. It
Yeah,
meant something and it'd be brought back in later or it's just so clever and so from the start, from the very start, I was like, I love this. This is amazing. And it's still available as far as I'm aware. Character Flaw is still
yeah, it's still showing. She's got the rest of this, well, another week or two to go at the Edinburgh Fringe, isn't it? And there's the Character Flaw play book, which I've got a copy of just here. And we're going to put the links in the description, aren't we, so that people can support the play still and her because, we were chatting because she came and chilled with us afterwards, didn't she, as well, after the show, which was really nice to just like hang out with her. She's like such a cool girl. And
she's a star. Yeah, I didn't expect that. I just like I
no,
suppose she's got so much time there, and
yeah,
just to see like she's like, oh, whereabouts
Well,
are you
after,
girls? I'll
yeah.
come find you. And it was like, oh,
I felt like
takes us as a person.
yeah, I felt like we'd been friends with her for years, kind of thing. She's like
So
really
easy
easy
to
to
get
get
on
on with.
with.
Yeah, but we was talking, and I said, because where's your fan? Have you got it handy? I said, because we'd got these really cool fans that she'd given out. She'd given out earplugs to people in case they had hearing sensitivities when it came to the actual performance. We'd got a badge saying what's your character flaw. And
She really she was like, I'm rating doing a story about neurodivergence and I'm catering for that in the
yeah,
show.
yeah. But then the
Makes so
leaflets
much
as well.
sense.
And in my head, I know how much all of this costs because we're here doing it ourselves, like having to pay for banners and this, that, and the other. And I said to her, I said, you know, I understand the outlay that must be behind this. And she's like, she's spent hundreds,
Yeah.
you know, on the fans, the badges, the earplugs, and all of this, that, and the other. And
It's a proper mega project.
yeah, mega project, and it deserves. She deserves the recognition. So I said to us as well, we're going to be plugging the fundraiser. So we'll make sure that in this description and in the interview one as well is the crowdfunder, because I think it's coming to it's drawing to a close soon, the crowdfunder. So if you can spare a couple of quid, do get on there and donate some money to her. We've donated some, haven't we, as the podcast? So it'd be wicked if
Who get the link for it? Without being able to truly see anything.
I love this in the chat. So
What's the chat saying?
Jade is just saying that she needs to check out True Vibes clothing. You certainly do, Jade.
Yes.
We've got loads of items between us now. We're slowly building our collection, and I noticed that the hoodie is the hoodie coming out. Tattoo Girls Rule or something. I saw it earlier on the page and got super excited. Tattoo Girls Rule the World, I think it said.
Yes,
I
the
was like,
hoodies.
oh my god, I need that hoodie in my life. I love hoodies. We were talking, weren't we, about when they got banned from shopping malls.
Yeah. And I was actually thinking after when I got home, is it that you couldn't wear a hoodie at all or you couldn't have the hood up?
Well,
Posted the links in chat as well, guys.
yeah, please go into that crowdfunder if you can spare a couple of quid and donate her it, because she's a super cool girl and we loved the play.
Definitely.
But yeah, going back to the hoodie thing, I have a feeling that they were trying to ban hoodies completely, and that's what was making everybody so angry. But I think the idea wasn't it, take your hood down and we won't have a problem.
Right, yeah.
And that was generally down to CCTV, right? That if you've got a hood up, that obscures your face, and therefore you could be
right, yeah,
conducting antisocial behaviour, and they haven't got your face on camera.
I get it. I completely. You know, there's certain people that I understand sensory difficulties. They might, but
Use the
feel
hood.
like that's where a invisible disability lanyard may
Yeah.
come into play.
I tell you what, Lou's gonna laugh that I'm bringing this up, but we watch now and again like Border Force or Border Control or whatever, and it really gets on my wick that sometimes, clear as day, I can tell that that person's autistic, and they are treating them like they're a criminal because there's
They're
all
dodgy.
this, yeah,
Acting weird.
yeah,
dodgy.
they're acting weird, they're acting dodgy, like, oh, they're not giving me eye contact, they're acting suspicious,
Yeah.
and they are not at all sympathetic about it. They are literally
Yeah.
like power hungry, you know.
Yeah.
Their character behind these people, they're like, well, you know, they're not even giving me eye contact, so obviously it's this. And I'm like, I really feel like writing to the show and saying you are missing a trick here. Quite
Yeah.
often, these people have got learning difficulties or autism or whatever it is, and your staff are treating them like hardened criminals.
It's
it really frustrates me. I like watching it, but on the
Yeah.
other hand, it really frustrates me.
it's a bit that it really winds me up when we go into like lie detection and stuff in criminology. Like lie detectors, we know are not credible. You can't
Yeah.
use them in a court of law. A neurodivergent brain will not, or body will not physiologically react in the way that you're taught.
Yeah.
It's right. You get in this baseline reading. You can move through different emotion states for different reasons.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's for that. I hate that. But then there's also body analysts, people that can tell you that they know you're lying just by watching your body language.
Yeah.
And yes, there is a very general rule, but it's still not. It doesn't apply to everyone. It's very. It just really winds me up that someone can be like, "Oh, I can just tell they're lying by how they're stood," and it's like, no, you can't. Some people just hold themselves in a certain way.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's not conjunctive with your way of you thinking humans should act. It just, yeah.
Do you know?
It always winds me up.
Jade's just said in the chat as well that a taxi once refused Shauna into a taxi because he thought she was pissed, and if she wasn't laughing so much, she'd have walloped him. And that's the thing. It's a good job that you can see the funny side of those things, because that is such an all
Yeah.
too common thing. I used to
My
support a
God.
bloke that walked with a limp because he'd had a stroke, and people just used to assume he was pissed because he slurred his words a little bit, and he walked with a limp. And it's like, no, he's had a stroke. Actually, he's not drunk. But like that whole. I think we have to do a whole episode on it, just because.
Just the worst faux pas in history.
Yeah.
Faux pas that actually hurt.
Yeah. Well, Louis said as well that uniform giving them some sort of power trip. Well,
Yeah.
there was another one where the guy had got a criminal charge, but it was from when he was 19, and this guy was quite clearly like in his early 50s now. And he was being so upfront about it, and it was like, I was really easily influenced, I got in with the wrong crowd, and you could tell he was being so authentic and genuine. And this guy was like, well, I you do realize that was a serious offense, and he was just like being, and I thought, you are literally lording that over him. Like, oh, it was
I hate
horrible
it.
to watch. It was really frustrating.
It's still really I question this uniform thing. I understand it works to a degree. Like, one of the oldest studies in psychology, most people have heard it, is the Stanford prison experiment, where they separated two normal groups of people. Some became prisoners, some became prison guards, and just that level of power,
Yeah, change
like,
people.
it became medlem. They had to literally end they tried to end the experiment, but they'd overran this prison.
Yeah.
That wasn't a prison, it was just some rented out environment. It was really strange. It's all over YouTube if you want to go and check it out.
Yeah.
It's really incredible. But then there's also the Milgram experiment, which is the can you electrocute another human body?
Oh.
So you're told that you sat in front of a dial thing, 1 to 10, and you're told that this is connected to someone in the other room, and when you hit a certain voltage, it will give them an electric shock. And it tests if you would do it.
Yeah.
And the different parameters are this person never finding out that you've done it. It raised
Okay.
people,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I'll give it a go, and how far they would go. They found that the majority of people would go to 5 without, even if the other person knows that they did it. But they'd still know that it's part of an experiment. They didn't do it
Yeah.
just because they want to. And people stopped doing it when the person giving the instructions took the white coat off. And it's again this uniform of being like, trust me, I'm an experiment. I'm a doctor. I do research. You can do this. You just came out in some like normal clothes, and people were like, I don't want to hurt someone else.
Yeah.
So it shows how a powerful uniform has so much so it's a powerful effect on people. Power dynamics are crazy. Such a great topic.
I've always said with teaching, and that it attracts the light workers of us that want to change the world and want to better people's lives, and then the damaged people that have perhaps been bullied as kids or whatever, that cannot wait to be in a position of authority and start dishing it out to others. And I feel like it's the same with the police force as well, that you get half the people are there for the right reasons and they want to change the world, probably more than half, and then you've got this other group of people that are in it purely for the power.
I think any job of power, you should have to have counselling on a regular basis for people to be able to check psychologically if you're well enough to be working with vulnerable people or within such a powerful. It's hard, but I just think it's it's free counselling for people. Just what the hell.
I'm loving this, Jade. She says people just need to lose the ego and the one-track mind on how people should be. We are all different. We are unique and should be respected and celebrated for our differences, which is what we're all about, celebrating our differences. And this is the thing, I think we've got such like, I saw this post yesterday, and it was all these figures that had been carved over the years of goddesses, and they had got all different shapes and sizes, like big droopy boobs and like curves, and like some of them with the like big belly hanging over, and all this, and they were all goddesses at some point, and it really
all considered beautiful women.
and it really highlighted the fact that at some point this kind of beauty expectation appeared for men and for women, and if you don't match up,
I tell you what point.
when capitalism started.
Capitalism.
Yeah, no, and it drives me mad, because I think one of the things that neurodivergent people are blessed with is being able to see through it.
Yeah.
So we can just be like,
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
see the bigger picture and not care so much. Like I'm just blessed with a complete lack of awareness of how other
Most
people might be
definitely.
judging me.
It's this idea again, like there was this thing with the Olympics, right? Is that are they really all women if they've got these XY if they've got more
Oh
hormone in
God.
their body? And it's
Yeah.
like you look at, for say, for example, a Pakistani lady who, within their culture, naturally have a thicker facial hair, have a darker hair, have darker skin, and that is how their beauty is. That's just how they look.
Yeah.
And you apply this westernized idea of women should be shaved, they should be like pruned, just literally every bit nipped and tucked until it's perfect.
Until it's
And
perfect. And most people go, I
yeah,
don't like that look
and
anyway.
now it's you don't get called ugly for it. Now you're being called a man for it. If you have peach fuzz,
Yeah, yeah.
you're being questioned. Is that actually a woman?
I
Or do we have a right to abuse her?
I said this to you, but I'll say it so that it's on camera.
Say it for the people.
That at the end of the day, gender, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, is way more than just what bits you've got. It's your genetic makeup, your emotional, your hormones, there's like more to it kind of thing. So I'm glad that the discussion has started purely because it's like maybe people will start to open their mind a little bit about the um trans culture and stuff, because at the end of the day it's not as simple or it's not as black and white as you're a man and
Exactly.
you're a woman. I see so many people share stuff where they're like, um it's a man or it's a woman, simple, as though it is simple, and it's like that is so uneducated because it's not
I know.
simple. Like you might be blessed to be born with all the correct bits for your assigned gender and be chuffed about it. Fair play, you
I
know.
know.
But for me, going through puberty was a horrible experience. My voice got deeper. I
Same.
started growing hair in places apparently I wasn't supposed to because I'm a girl.
Exactly.
And then I've gone on to find out that ADHD people are more likely to have these imbalances
Yeah.
and stuff. I guarantee, I bet you if you tested my chromosomes, they're probably the male chromosomes.
Exactly. And that for so long, I was exactly the same. And I started, am I kind of more manly? And I've had to realize, no,
That's
I'm a
just you.
woman.
Yeah.
I feel like a woman. There's parts of me that are a little more on the masculine side, but I wholeheartedly feel like a woman. So how does that explain that?
Yeah,
If
yeah.
I've got higher testosterone, yet I still feel like a pretty woman in pink, whether
Yeah.
I am or not by your standards, like explain that.
Yeah, innit? And that's the thing. Sometimes I quite like this blurring of the lines because I'm just like, I'm a human. I don't care whether you're a man, you're a woman, or whether I'm a man or a woman. I'm a human and I
Exactly.
like what I like. I love that, Jade. Is this why I'm a lesbian? Well, being a being gay is definitely part of the neurodivergent spectrum.
Yeah, it's like what came first, the chicken or the egg? I'm going to assume it's not why you're a lesbian,
Yeah.
exactly the causality, but
Yeah.
I
But
understand the how much idiot men you managed to just like sideswipe from being a lesbian. I bet that's lovely.
sorry, I'm just catching up on the chat as well. Peter, I'll definitely be going on to the post about the Tattoo Girls Rule Design hoodies and saying yes, please do that. But he also says my favourite saying is I'm not weird, I'm limited edition. And all the best things in the world are limited edition. And I think
Oh my word.
it's a really cool way to look at it, isn't it? That
Yeah.
I mean, I said to you one yesterday where I was like, you said I was too much. Well, I hope you're happy with less. And it's that way of
Love it.
making it work for you where it's like, that's fine. You know, if you don't want all this, go and get less.
Yeah, literally filter yourself out. I we need to get on to after we left Edinburgh. But really quickly, I saw a post online, and this is where it always goes wrong. Never go in the comment section. It was a video of a blind girl who has eyes that move about while she talks. And she was saying, quite often I get the comment, why don't you wear sunglasses? And she was like, I just want to say, it's like me saying, why don't you get a different voice?
Yeah.
Like, I can't help them. And you're basically saying you're uncomfortable with my disability. And she's like, it's not my problem. That's all she said.
Yeah.
Some turd in the chat is literally like, your sighted friends are just trying to help you, and I'm gonna like calmly try and do the same. You just look better with them. No, like simple, as if like
Simple.
you,
Like,
you
yeah.
dumb little girl, like you can't see, but I can see you, and I'm right. And it's like I'm so jealous that her ass doesn't have to look at you. That's where I wish I was a fucking blind girl.
Yeah, isn't it? Like, because
So
you
that I don't have to see any of these stupid comments on the internet.
it's that simple thing though, isn't it? Where it's like, what you mean is that's just your
Yeah.
opinion, mate. It's not fact.
I was like, right, well, you better be Henry Cavill, mate. And then we go on these, oh, look, a human thumb. So why are you setting these unrealistic beauty standards when you yourself, sir, pair of sunglasses ain't even going to help? Like,
yeah.
please stop, because you're setting yourself up for failure.
As
We all are, by adhering to these unrealistic beauty standards.
As the amazing Judge Judy would say, beauty fades, dumb lasts forever.
Take that, you shit poster.
Jade saying, don't start me on eyes.
Don't start me on eyes.
Still one of my most favourite memories ever. Like, Lindzi, you all right? We'll have you on here one day, Jade, to share the story for sure.
Oh God, I can't wait. We need to do this bus tour where all these people in this chat.
Yes, we get you all on
to meet. I think we could do it. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so we saw Fringe, we saw Pip show. It was incredible. It was a good time. We had some food, got about in the rain, but we were conscious that we had a little bit of a drive to go back to Newcastle, so that it wasn't such a long drive back to
we broke the drives up basically, didn't we?
Yeah, it was nice. And you'd picked somewhere literally kind of on the outskirts, right? So you weren't having to like venture too far into Newcastle. And we were so worried, weren't we? Like, we've been spoiled.
It's going to be a dive.
Like, what are we going to do?
It was quite cheap as well, wasn't it? So we were really thinking like, oh my gosh, you know, what are we walking into?
But it was fine. It was lovely. It weren't Mandy's place. It weren't the ship, whatever it was called.
Yeah, there was no biscuits.
There was no biscuits. Oh, Mandy, shout out with your biscuits. They were beautiful.
It's Amanda.
Amanda. It's colloquial. We're buddies. We're friends. We know each other. I said I'm moving in.
I know. Yeah, like if you need permanent residence, yeah, we're here.
Oh
we're
my
here
God, I will clean those rooms just for like one free room to myself. We'll do it. But yeah, we had to leave Edinburgh to there. That's when we got to the Northumberland coast, right? We were taking the pictures. It was
such an amazing, like, it was like viewpoint 1 mile. And I said, Steph, I'm stopping at that viewpoint. I don't understand.
I love that you do that as well.
Yeah.
Because I think it, but I'm like, I'm not driving. I can't be like, hey, you that's driven this whole time, stop here, pull over here. But if you've got the, I'm like, yes. And you do it every time. And I'm just like, let's go. It gave us the moment.
Well, that nice. We could see the view, couldn't we, all around us? But it was like when they said there was going to be a viewpoint. I've only ever done viewpoints, you know, when you're abroad and they're like, oh, there's a viewpoint up this mountain. So I was like, oh my God, there's a viewpoint in England / Wales / Scotland. We were saying though, we have now taken the podcast to Scotland, Wales, and all around England. So
yeah,
we're getting like officially
Ireland
tour. Yeah, Ireland next.
If we have any Irish followers or anyone that would like to host us or recommend that it's equally nice to stay at, I've been to Dublin and it's fairly cheap to get there on a plane.
Yeah,
it takes
I've been to
20
Dublin.
minutes.
I'd like to go to Cork. It's because of
Corbridge. The names of these places.
Yeah.
It's insane. Yeah, it was a really nice place. Got a pizza.
They were friendly, weren't they? Because we got to the bar too late to order food, and he was just like, "But there is a pizza place around the corner," and it was really nice.
It was very. He could have easily been like, "You were too late."
Yeah, just not said anything. You idiot tourist.
Very sweet.
And we also went to Southeast London last Friday
to see the lovely Sarita's art exhibition, her photography.
Yeah,
which was in a lovely venue. What was it called? Brewery.
Broccoli Brewery.
The Broccoli Brewery.
Yeah, which is just a micro brewery. So
yeah, it was dead strange, wasn't it? Just like a normal like road with terraced houses on, and then just randomly what looks like would have been like a garage.
An old garage. I think that's what that guy told us. I was chatting to us.
It was. They were so. They've clearly got their locals that they're very talkative and talk to everyone there, and it was a really nice night. It was nice meeting a guy, Nico, who is a tattoo artist and does some really cool psychedelic art that Maybe we could get him on some
Yeah, if
point.
you're watching, Nico, subscribe. We know that we give out lots of cards and we want to see new subscribers.
Oh, I
Danny from
suppose
New
to
York,
anyone.
subscribe.
Yeah, if anyone is a new subscriber, if you're enjoying this video and would like to see more, there's loads that you can come and catch up on our website, on our YouTube. But for now, please like and subscribe. I think it's this side. It might be this side. Somewhere.
Smooth.
Smooth. I know YouTube. But yeah, it means the world. And also, if you want to join our Patreon, that also really helps us too.
Yeah,
Put
we've
the
not,
links in the
not done a
description.
Patreon shout out for a while, have we?
Let's do a Patreon shout out.
Who have we not shouted out? Let's go. In fact, let's go with Hannah, because the lovely Hannah
Shout out, great idea. I love
gave
that.
me her old skate so that I could get into skating. So I'm so grateful for that.
Have we told them you've got all the gear? You've literally. It's like,
All the gear and no idea. That is me.
you keep saying that, but I'm literally watching you with full confidence go round with no hands holding onto anything. Like, you're way ahead of what me and Kat were doing, I think.
Do you know what helped though? If anybody is tempted to get into skating after watching us take it up this year,
Please do.
a trolley. So I've been going down to Morrison's car park when it closes and getting hold of a trolley, and that really,
Specifically, those new little black ones. That are
Yeah.
like a basket trolley.
yeah, that's what they're like, isn't it? A basket on
Yeah.
wheels. But yeah, that has really definitely helped me keep my balance and learn my stride, and then let go of that. But I fell over on Sunday like 3 or 4 times, and my wrist is so sore that I feel like I'm gonna have to. Because I was tempted to go tonight as it stopped raining. But I feel like I'm gonna have to give it a miss because my wrist is so sore. So, but I've got all of the protective
Seems to
pads
stop.
now, so that's brilliant. Oh, Jade saying, I love and admire how you embrace new things. Well, I tell you what, it's a different resolution
Yes.
guide that prompted us to do this. So at the front of it, there's I can't say and show the picture of us three. It's on our Instagram. But the A Different Resolution, it's got 12 different prompts in, like a bingo card. And you pick one each month. And it's things like try something new, go a week without something, add something, do something purposeful, do something you enjoy. And I'm going to be making sure that we've got those ready for the 2025. So if you're looking for gift ideas for Christmas or you just want to treat yourself, then we will have those
Yeah, definitely.
very, very soon, because you can still get the A Different Resolution for this year. But I'm aware that we're actually over halfway through the year now, which is terrifying and exciting at the same time.
That's very fun.
There we are.
Let's,
Share the screen. And yeah, just going back to you, Peter, hopefully see you in Birmingham in October. That'll be for the Goth Fest. I hope so too.
Yeah, definitely. October's like a very busy month for us, isn't it? But
Yeah.
any chance that we can get to come and see you guys at Birmingham and have some fun. That Goth Playhouse, whatever. Is that what it's called?
Goth Playground.
Playground.
Yeah.
It was wicked last
It was
time.
good. It was cool.
Shout out to Forever Emo as well as
yeah.
True Vibes clothing. She was wicked. I think she's taking a break at the minute, which I hope
We
you're
all
enjoying
need,
it.
yeah.
Don't hurry back, but we enjoy and can't wait for it when you do. But yeah,
There we are.
look at it. If I try and click on it, I imagine it will.
Yeah, just say to log in. But there I am with all my gear on.
And there's a lovely pip.
Yeah, we've got some more photos to share for my trip, so I will be doing so.
There's the sunset.
Yeah, there is the sunset.
And there's our left-handed freak. Look. What day was it? It's
the 13th.
The 13th.
So Tuesday, the 13th, was International Left-Handers Day. So shout out to any of you crazy lefties out there. Whoop whoop. My tattoo look on my left arm to signify.
It amazes me. We were at Burger King and there was just some staff member writing on a bit of receipt and she was like lefty, and like you spot them like
I know.
Your brain knows it's there before you do. It's just like, oh, beep, 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 beep. There it is. Left-hander.
I'm obsessed. I love studying left-handedness, so that's like my little kind of one of my little special interests. Yeah.
Someone's writing, your brain instantly goes, which hand?
Yeah. Hey up, True Vibes Clothing. My next trading is, does that say Bristol?
I imagine that's Bristol, 1st of September.
And Newport.
So they're saying it.
9th of September.
We were talking about Bristol, weren't we?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, like, what a shame I can't. That's too soon for me to get there for then, because I love Bristol. It's such a wicked.
And where's
city.
Newport? I know that's in California, but where is it in
I feel like that would
UK?
be down south, but and thanks, Jade. I absolutely love watching you both flourish and living your best lives. Proud of you both. We're proud of you too, mate. You always take life in your stride.
Yeah, your posts literally, they can pull me out of the worst moods. They just make me so happy.
It's Wales.
Wales!
Just after we said that we need to go to Wales.
Ireland.
Hey? Oh. Oh yeah, we said we need to go to
Excitement though. I'm happy to go to Wales. To be fair, I've not driven anywhere yet. Maybe if there's anywhere I can.
Well, the 28th
try.
of September, we'll be going to the adult skating.
Doom, doom, doom. Dude, I
Can't wait for
literally
that.
see us literally at the next Olympics. You watch. Start of the quad skating Olympic Games. I'm gonna be there. We're gonna be there. Literally. And I was gonna say what we're gonna dress up. What an idea for the skating and dressing up for Halloween, but I am actually not gonna say anything. I'm gonna leave it as a little tester, not a tester, a teaser.
Jade, maybe brush up on geography lessons, mate. That is definitely my weak point. Geography, I haven't got a clue. I'm getting there though. The more we're driving around,
It amazed me, like, after every so often we'd look at something and be like, is that there? Oh yeah. Literally driving around
The
London.
Shard.
Is that the Shard? Is that the Shard? Is that the Shard? I've got one video where I'm clearly taking the mic, like, is that the Shard? And it actually is the Shard.
Doesn't look anything like the Shard, or how you'd imagine the Shard should look.
Little anticlimactic. But shout out to the past week. I've absolutely loved it. I've been busy. I've had no end of fun with you. It's literally been a really wicked
trip,
time.
didn't we?
So
and I've got more footage to upload,
Yeah,
photos
same.
and videos. So keep your eyes peeled. Make sure you follow us on our socials. You can find all the details on the website.
And James Hansen.
Oh yes.
And just literally forever apologising. It's been the most like jam-packed time of us doing something. But your episode audio version will be up tomorrow, 7 p.m. So
Awesome.
a nice Friday upload. And then I was gonna ask you about Lindzi Illuminates It.
Yeah.
Should we try that next week?
Yeah, I'll get it filmed and we'll launch it Friday next week.
I don't know if you're enjoying Lindzi's Illuminated series, but if you haven't seen it, go onto our. It might be hard to find if you're always on the live tab. If you go to the videos, we've got a load more videos.
We have.
And yeah, Lindzi's little series is awesome, and it's great for like. I like it when I'm driving somewhere, you know, when I'm just like nipping to the shops.
Yeah, it's just 10 minutes.
It's just a little like, fills my brain with some like goodness and like, that's a good food for thought for the day.
Yeah,
and it
that's
like rests with me, and I like, yeah,
that is
think about
definitely
it.
the idea. A bit of food for thought.
Mull it over. A day's mull. Mulling Muse.
I'm gonna rename it next year.
Mulling Muse.
Right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. I've loved the chat that's been popping off today. And I love having you all here and all chatting to each other as well. It makes me feel so proud of you all.
You girls should do the next opening ceremony on your skates. I fully agree. In full True Vibes attire.
Yes, we should.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, definitely. With our True Vibes socks on. I tend to wear those for skating when they're
the best for skating. They never fall down.
We need to get some footage of us skating in them so that you can. Although they're sold out, those socks. I went to buy some for my friend, so I know that they're doing well.
Just prove how good they are. Yeah, definitely.
Indeed.
Well, we shall let you get on with it. We'll be back next week for a ADHD episode.
Spectacular.
Like they aren't all ADHD episodes.
Yeah, next week though we're going to talk specifically about ways to. We're going to go through the kind of most asked questions, which is usually give me some advice. I had somebody say that on my TikTok yesterday. They were like, "Have you got any advice? Life feels really crap." I was like, "Oh." So
right, I understand. I'm ready for my advice myself.
Yeah, we'll boost each other. So all have a think. If any of you have got any advice that you want to share, either come on and put it in the chat or send it to us in the meantime.
Or any questions you'd like to ask.
Yes, and we'll hopefully see you all here next week.
Yes, please come back, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out our socials. James's episode tomorrow. And then Friday next week is U Club. If you'd like to come, give us an email. We might be able to send you a bit of an invite so you can come and check it out.
I love that. The True Vibes My Inner Monsters is dedicated to ADHD. I love that design as well. That's on my list to
love
get that
that.
one next. So now that I know
Oh,
that,
very
I'm
cool.
definitely getting that one.
I love that. Thank you, beautiful souls. Thank you, Jade. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Always popping off. You help the algorithm so much. And for that, we love you. We have endlessly thank you. And in the meantime, have a great week. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you next Thursday for a pre-week.
Pre-kend.
Pre-kend. Yeah. No, I don't like it. I don't like it. This is Lindsay.
And this is Steph.
We're a different human design.
And this is a different podcast. Good night.
Who says that? Can't find the actual screen. Oh, this is awkward.
And stream.
This is awkward. Still, are you sure?
Yeah.